Hey guys, something a bit different from me. This is barbecue related, not beer related. I joined a few Facebook groups, particularly with this Weber Go Anywhere and a Weber Master Touch, just so I could learn a bit because I'm a beginner at barbecuing really. So I put up some pictures of a recent camping trip where I'd made a riser out of stainless steel plates and a heat deflector, and some people showed some interest and wanted to see a bit more about it, and I thought the easiest way was to do a little video, and I'll just put a link on those pages to satisfy people's curiosity. It's nothing fancy, I'm not a metal worker, but it worked really well. Weekend I cooked a roast pork out in the woods when we were camping. Heat with charcoal, sort of did a minion method, put a lighter in and stacked it up round, controlled it with vents, and it cooked for 3 hours. And I did that at, I think it was like 220 for half an hour just to get some crackling, and then I dropped it back to 180 and it held it there until it was cooked. Worked really well. So well, I'll show you what I carry in it first of all. Loaded to the gills. So I'll take the lid off. I found these trays the other day. They're a really good fit if you're doing offset cooking. Put something in there, catch everything, and then your heat comes up here. So it almost acts like a deflector plate in itself. Put some water in there, do an absolutely brilliant job. And I've got gloves and my homemade mini starter, which I didn't use last time. This is nuts and bolts to hold all the riser together. It's a deflector plate which sits inside the riser. I'll show you that in a minute. Some tumbleweed lighters, a few more little trays, a spanner just in case. I've got butterfly bolts in there, all stainless steel, but just in case they get a bit stiff, and I've got a spanner to undo it. And a lighter. Pair of tongs. I'm yet to find a spatula to fit in there, but I haven't really been looking. This is the risers, and then I have in here I've got a bit more of the risers down in the very bottom, and the grate and the ash catcher. So I'll get this together and I will show you a bit more about it. Right, so we have her on now. It looks a bit messy inside, but it's barbecue. So this is a deflector. It's just a piece with an upright on it. And that's just square. And actually, that's the top line. Like that. I mean, you can see the gist of it. You can slide that out to there, and then you've got really good convection coming up. And if you keep your top grill vent on this side shut and this side open, you're going to get really good airflow coming over your meat. Tend your fire down there, and you can put a couple of trays in, all the big ones, and then you can cook either down on this layer, give you more height when the lid's on, or you can cook up here if it's something that's not too high. Now I think I had my grill on the top one when I did the pork because it wasn't a massive piece. No, it was a shoulder pork, and it was only a small one. It was a sample, just to do a test run really. And I cut the grill in half so that if I need to tend the fire, I don't need to take the meat off if I've got meat on that side, and I can get at the trays. When I did the cook, I cooked roast potatoes with rattling underneath, so the juices drop down. Something that did sort of flukily happen is I can just hinge it up, so I want to get access down there, but that wasn't intentional, that's just a happy accident. Then the lid goes on, and you can do a nice low and slow. I added the thermometer as well. Some people say don't bother, but I just like to have an idea of where we are in there, really. I put a probe in. I had a Bluetooth probe in the meat so I could see ambient and meat temperature, and that probe wasn't too far out because if I just turn it over, you can see it's quite close to the edge. It's probably inch and a half, 2 inches from the edge, 2 inches from the edge, smack bang in the middle. You got plenty of space to put meat around it with a probe sticking in there. It didn't seem to cause any damage when I drilled the hole. It went quite well. Didn't crack out the enamel or anything. Yeah, so that is the riser and the heat deflectors. Made out of some stainless steel that my work were getting rid of. It was kick plates that go on to doors in hospitals and places and schools. Stainless steel, and they were getting rid of them, and I asked if I could buy them, and they're very generous and let me have a couple. And I'm quite pleased with it. It saved me a wedge of money. The rounds I formed with 40mm waste pipe, sink waste pipe, something like under the hose pipe there, and it just seemed absolutely spot on. I'm really happy with it, and I hope it's been insightful and you can see how I did it now. Thanks for watching. Cheers then.